from Dawn's Appliances, and I am here with Rachellee Lacek, a realtor with Pyatt Sotheby International and the team leader of the Lacek Group. So in our last segment, we were talking about just different appliance trends to consider when you are listing your house on the market. In this segment, we're going to talk a little bit about flipping houses, apartment living, and upgrading your kitchen in preparation to sell. So we started talking a little bit about the technology features behind appliances, and you mentioned a really good point that you have insight into kind of the sustainability and the service issues that some appliances have. Do you want to speak a little bit about that?
Absolutely. I think it's really, really important, and not all realtors are really well versed in all the sales aspects of appliances, fixtures, tile, flooring. Myself personally, I do invest, and I'm also flipping a house. 1831 Cleaver Club is what I like to call it. That's my pet name for the project. And the one thing that I really needed to consider was who is buying this house when I'm done renovating the home. Mm-hmm. And when you look at that aspect, you not only want to provide a quality renovation, but you also want to provide quality finishes and also amenities to that buyer. Mm-hmm. So when I'm looking at my appliances, I'm also doing additional research as into reliability. And what I'm going to ask the sales technician that's selling me the product is, okay, how many items of that brand did you sell last year? How many service calls did you get specifically for that brand? Mm-hmm. And then what is your reliability factor? Mm-hmm. If it's a low number, below 5%, then I know it's a great quality brand. But also you want to ask the sales rep, what is your service department like with that product? Do you service the product? Now, I know Dawn's Appliances is very well known for their service and quality reputation. Mm-hmm. So I want to know how many of those items were serviced last year of that brand so that I can make sure I'm putting a quality product in my home that the buyer in return is getting and not going to have to worry about making a service call. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are all really good points. And in the last segment, in relation to technology, you mentioned the LG InstaView and yes. the Samsung Family Hub, which are very popular items based on just how tech forward and flashy they are.
Yes.
So I've noticed, just keeping my eye on listings around Pittsburgh, that sometimes appliances are listed as a selling point. And
Absolutely.
I've noticed, obviously with high-end brands mm-hmm. like Sub-Zero, Wolf, and Viking, mm-hmm. but also with these more tech-forward appliances.
Yes.
So, do you think, I guess my question here is that something that, as a purchaser of new appliances, you should be striving for an appliance that's a big selling point?
I really, really think two things are very important when selling a home: the kitchens and the bathrooms. Mm-hmm. And they better have all the bells and whistles when you're at a certain price point, because as a luxury buyer and as a luxury realtor as well, you know what to expect in certain price points. So if I walk into $1 million home and it has, and no offense to anybody if you have this, but if you have GE profile, that's not cutting it. Mm-hmm. You need to have the bigger brand names. You need to have the more customized Pro Series. And I'm sure, even Chef Anthony from Dawn's Appliances, who really helps consumers use their appliances in their home, but also knows how the expectation is, the cooking level. If you're bringing in entertainment or if you have a personal chef, you're going to want certain appliances that really, really are recommended and that are known by chefs. Mm-hmm. So if I'm going to buy $1 million home, I want Sub-Zero. I want the more higher end Viking. I want all the big names, mm-hmm. but I also want the reputation and the quality that they bring and the professional series that they offer for chefs that can come cook in my kitchen.
Right. Yeah, that all makes sense. Something that I am continuously shocked by is kind of shifting away from residences that are for purchase to rentals, I'm always surprised at, we're seeing like the luxury rental market in Pittsburgh just boom. And it seems as though a lot of developers maybe save the appliances for last and maybe run out of money because we're seeing, a lot of like lower end brands being put into rentals, which is sometimes a little bit surprising because, I think, like you're saying with home buying, if you're buying $1 million house, you expect a certain product quality.
Yes.
And in my mind, you're not owning it, you're renting it, but the same rules apply.
Absolutely.
So do you have any insider knowledge on, maybe why that is, or for a developer or an owner that's renting out property? Is price and durability the main selling points and the main reason why they're purchasing appliances?
Well, I think the other thing with investor purchases, for instance, if you're an investor and you have apartments, your turnover is pretty much every year. So every 12 months, you're turning over that key to a new tenant. And what happens is the aspect of rent versus ownership, you take care of things a little differently. So you don't mind slamming that stove shut. You don't mind poking at one of the knobs so it turns and you're a little rough on it. Like there are certain things that you do whenever you're a tenant versus an owner respectfully to the appliance. So you need to make sure that quality-wise, you're not calling in the technicians every single year to check on those appliances. I have to say, I have GE in my current apartment. I've had my apartment for 6 years. Not once did I have to call or turn in a request from maintenance on my appliances. But again, I've been there for 6 years. I've lived in it like it's my own home because I want to maintain, not only maintain, but I don't want to call maintenance and bother them for something so small. So the durability and the reliability of my GE product has been very successful. I'm going to recommend that to an investor, which you're starting to see in investment properties. GE is a big line that is in every rental property. Now, some properties are doing LG. They're doing LG because they're sleek, they're innovative. MKM Property Management, which is Monica Sample from Pyatt Sotheby's, her team is very well versed in appliances as well, and they're using LG for their flips and their rentals. But they're durable. Again, LG is a good brand, and I only reference GE because that's my personal experience. However, LG is still a really good brand for rentals, but it's also the millennial that's renting that unit, or even it's the empty nester that wants to rent a unit, but they want a nice product, they want reliability, they want durability.
And it's interesting that you say that because from a marketer standpoint, GE has come out with several campaigns targeting rental owners, the people owning these large apartment complexes. So that's interesting to hear. And, under the GE umbrella, there is certainly enough options to, satisfy anyone who is looking. So thank you all for joining us this morning as we went over how appliances impact real estate value. We would be happy to answer any of your appliance questions if you visit one of our 9 Pittsburgh locations or schedule a virtual consult with one of our sales associates.